Des yeux qui font baisser les miens, un rire qui se perd sur sa bouche, voilà le portrait sans retouche de l'homme auquel j'appartiens. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, qu'il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi, moi pour lui dans la vie. Il me l'a dit, l'a juré pour la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens dans moi mon cœur qui bat. Des nuits d'amour à plus finir, un grand bonheur qui prend sa place, des ennuis, des chagrins s'effacent, heureux, heureux, à en mourir. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est toi pour moi, moi pour toi dans la vie. Tu me l'as dit, m'as juré pour la vie. Dès que je t'aperçois, alors je sens dans moi mon cœur qui bat.
Making it, I really appreciate it. It's wonderful to see so many faces here and how many people my dad's life touched, and I don't even know what to say. I'm hoping that some of you guys know him in a different way than I do, and really hope a lot of people did. Yeah, he had a lot of unique relationships with people, and so this is an opportunity for all of us to get together and maybe share some of that with each other, and mostly for me. We've got some great videos up there of him from all ages and stuff, which is right there. He's in Cuba and Havana. Everybody called him Picasso there. I don't know who this guy is. But
Right,
that's him. Taylor. So, I'm hoping to get a bunch of people up here just to talk, and I'm currently writing a book about Pizza Schmitza and him, and so hopefully it'll be out in the fall. And I promise to change all you motherfuckers' names so you know. But maybe not too much, so you'll know it's him. Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna take a little break, and then some people are gonna come up and talk, and everybody get a drink, whatever you want. There's some pizza coming out. The staff has been awesome. Please take care of them. So I just want to a couple of things about my dad. I always said he was a great elevator ride. That's about all I could take of him. Seriously, from one dad's king. But he had the biggest heart when it came to doing things for people. And I remember one story when the whole family had driven up to actually we were in Canada, past Vancouver.
That's my story.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I won't. I'll tell a different story. How about that? All I was trying to do was tell how great he was at doing. He would just pick up and do anything for you at any time you want. Michelle story.
Yeah, tell them that one.
I'll tell them. So what I'd like to do though is if anybody, please do step up. Don't be embarrassed because my dad would never be embarrassed. And anything you can remember about him or anything funny, sad, whatever, please come on up here and get crazy. No, that's okay. I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell one little story, and this isn't really that sweet, but I got it going on, and this is part of the book, which I'm pushing because
www.
want me to. So even as a 12-year-old, I knew I needed more cash to survive. And I knew it wasn't going to come from my parents. Money was always very tight for us as kids. Of course, they took care of the basics, food, shelter, and really bad clothes. Trying to push hand-me-downs from my uncles or my other cousins the entire time. Although at this particular time, my parents were feeding us amazing food, all the top brand things that they would never buy. We were blown away. All of our friends would come over and eat at our house. Mom always had things like Oreo, chocolate chip cookies, Chips Ahoy, Wonder Bread, Lucerne ice cream, the expensive kind. They were also giving us different varieties of flavors of things we would have never had before. Coincidentally, it happened this year, my parents decided to take up a business in an attempt to make more money. They were buying and selling garage sale stuff. And Diane and Tom were here, and they were the ones that got them into it with the estate sales and everything. Garage and rummage sales were in their heyday, and they just become a thing. And everybody was doing it. My parents would always inform me of the amazing antiques and valuable things they would find at people's houses. But ultimately, the preferred estate sales. Generally, when a person dies, they sell off everything, which they inform me is a better collection of things than garage sale stuff where people are just trying to get rid of crap. So I remember one day I was helping them carry in a load of treasures that had just come away with from an estate sale. Now I told you my parents were cheap, and my dad had discovered a treasure within the treasures. But what had really driven it home for me was when I was looking in the boxes and I was bringing in for them, and they were filled with half-filled packages of food. Things like pasta, rice, aroni, beans, canned food, crackers. Even as a kid, I had to draw the line at a half-empty gallon of milk, a third of a bottle of orange juice, a quarter bottle of olive oil, a half pack of cheese, a third of a salami roll. I even remember a half tub of ice cream. We deemed this estate sale kitchen leftovers as dead people food, and I refused to eat it. I remember when my dad was yelling at me with his infinite wisdom as usual, and he informed me that it was rude for me not to eat the goddamn food, baby, because Jesus Christ, those people had just died for it. And even as I was a kid, I was like, what the fuck? And I can remember crying and telling him, I'm not eating it. I'm not eating the dead people food. How do I know? Maybe the food was the reason they died. Did you ever think of that? Of course, my dad, always having to have the last word, reached in the box and grabbed a big stick of butter that obviously had been used, pulled out the knife and cut off the end part that someone had opened and consumed, and says to me, Jesus Christ, baby, don't be so goddamn stupid. I always cut off the part they used or put their mouth on. That way it's safe. And that was goddamn food safety lessons in my house, baby. I knew I was going to have to buy a hot lunch at school or find the money to do it because Mom would continue to pack dead people food lunches for me. All right. All right. My daughter Taylor is going to come up and speak next and just get y'all semi-private stuff.
All right, I was expecting about 10 people to show up, so I am not prepared to talk in front of all of you. When I was thinking about this evening and what I wanted to talk about, there was so many different memories that I could think of from things that should never be yelled at the ref, because of the plays, or as I was going through a bunch of the DVDs to create some of the videos today, that he pretty much just followed me around for the first 2 years of my life with a camcorder on his shoulder while I was doing absolutely nothing for hours on end. So I have about 12 videos sitting at home of just that.
Wow.
But when I really think about my grandpa, I think about just exactly what I'm seeing here. He had so many different people in his life, and they came from all different places and times, and he really liked most of you. Unless you were old, or you talked too much, or you didn't let him talk enough, or if you didn't like dogs, you were out. But there was one group of people that I feel like always got a pass, and who he loved more than anything, and more than anyone else in this room, and that's his granddaughters. And there are 4 of us, and he loved us.
Woo!
And so when
The ladies' man.
My grandpa, I think of an amazing man who loved us more than he could ever have put into words. even though he often tried. And so I just am really glad that everybody was able to come tonight and to remember such an amazing man.
Raise our glasses here. One more drink. Salute. Goddamn Roger.
Goddamn
Where's my brother? Coming up?
Carly's gonna go next.
Carly. Come on up. This is one of the other granddaughters.
Daughters.
Hi, Carly.
Hey, Carly.
And if there's one thing my grandpa loved, it was watching the TV on mute and yelling at it. And whenever I think of Grandpa, my favorite story is when my grandpa was getting ready for dinner. Grandma Flo was taking me and my sister Madison to my dad's car to drive us home, and as we were all walking outside to the car, I hear, "God damn it, baby!" And you see him run out of the house, and "Goddamn dog ate my goddamn pork chop." The chair pulled out, and the dog had climbed up on the chair in his table and run around chasing the dog. That's my favorite memory of him.
God damn it.
The pork chops are right there.
Pork chops.
Yes, that's how the dog got his name.
I got it. And I met Roger over at the Bethany Public House that Andre put together. And I was sitting there, and Roger would come in every day about the same time, and he'd sit right in the corner of the bar.
Oh,
right?
Yep.
And he got a lot of kisses there.
Yeah.
He got a lot of kisses.
A lot of things.
Yes, he was great. And anyway, every Friday night I go there, and Roger was there, and he and I would be like those two, those two old Muppet guys? I'd be like me and Roger talking to everybody.
In the balcony.
Like, God damn, look at that. Anyway, he tells me this one story. He told me a lot of stories. I won't talk about the Southern California boy. He told me a lot of stories about that. But he tells me this one story. Picture 1944, Paris, France.
Yeah.
Roger is about 14 years old. All the Allies are coming in, and they're and all of the Germans are bugging out because they just come in and the Allies are taking over. So Roger says, "God damn it! They left all the motorcycles down at the chateau." So he and his buddies. They had half tracks and motorcycles and everything down there, and Roger went down and he stole one of the German motorcycles. And he's riding around Paris and on BE or whatever they call that day there, and on one of the German motorcycles, and that kind of stuck with me. So anyway, here's to my buddy Roger. What a good life. 9 years old.
This is his favorite ex-daughter-in-law.
Favorite hot girl. Ooh.
Obviously, I am not the favorite.
That was a compliment.
So I interrupted Andre because I was thinking about stories about Roger, and Andre's right, there's a lot of stories, but there's not a lot that probably we should tell. So what I think is a good one is we were going to Canada up to do some houseboating with another family, and we had gotten up to Canada, and I decided that I wanted to go out for a run. So I went out for a run and had the car keys in my pocket. Little did I know that I had a hole in my pocket, so lost the car keys. We're in Canada.
Oh no.
So we get on the phone, we call Grandpa Roger, and he drives all the way up from Portland just to bring us the key.
Wow.
Woo! Big heart. Taylor was right. Nothing he wouldn't do for his grandkids, or for me, or for Roxanne. So we'll miss him. We'll miss him a lot. Cheers.
In the early, I want to say early
Introduce
80s.
yourself. Introduce yourself.
My name is Diane. My husband's name is Tom. He's from Czechoslovakia.
Hey,
So
Tom.
the Czech and the Frenchman.
Hey.
Anyway, in the 80s, Roger retired, I think, and he came to work. Both Roger and don't cry. Damn it. Roger and Flo came to work for us in our antique store on 92nd Foster. They were just down the road. And They were great. We had 3 locations in a row, and we would trade off and run back and forth. And Roger would help Tom refinish furniture, and I think we kind of got him going with the antiques. Stop it. And Tom has a little bit of a memory lapse right now, so he asked me several times where we were going tonight.
It's
So once
okay.
he started looking at the photos, it was like, oh God, I remember. But probably one particular story, because we were friends for years up until just like about 10 years ago, he came by with Flo, and that was the last time I saw her. But I used to come out to the auction just so I could hang out and shoot the shit with him. And out here on Cornelius Pass Road. And half a block down from our antique store, we were there 34 years. I called them at the restaurant where they were eating breakfast, and I said, oh my God, Roger, somebody just took a box full of stuff and told me to F off and took off down the road with the stuff. And him and Tom come flying out of the restaurant. Roger spread his legs and reached behind like he had a gun in his pocket. I could see him from the window. And I said, oh my God. And the guy opened the door, set the box down, drove off. He could have shot you. But, you know, he was really good with Tom, and they were such good friends, and we missed him. We tried to come out a couple weeks ago to take him for Greek night, for belly dancer. We thought he would enjoy it, but we couldn't find the place where he lived. And the next thing I know, I get a message, rest in peace, and I was like, God, it's so close to having that last visit. But we loved him, and we miss him. And it's really wonderful to meet all of his offsprings. I'm enjoying it. Thank you.
Woo!
The first one is Taylor and Lucas's wedding. And he was out there dancing with us, and I thought we were going to kill him. And he was like, game on, out there with us, and then he's like, I'm done. And then the other thing is, I'm married to Russ Bolling, and his twin brother, Jeff. Their parents had a dog, Sophie. And she was, what kind of a dog? I don't know. She was a little mutt. And Lopso. And Russ's dad, his parents died, and Roger adopted Sophie. But when we brought Sophie over to Roger, he's like, you know, I lost my sense of smell. And once you lose your sense of smell, I maybe my life expectancy is 5 years. And so I'm probably not going to be around that long. And you know what? Roger outlived Sophie because she had a brain aneurysm the same day Sophie did. What are the odds of that? But we were so lucky he adopted her, and she had the best life, like chicken breast at Bethany Public House every day, and I want to be that dog when I get reincarnated. So I love him.
All right. Any last takers?
Is this the last time you're doing this?
Hi everybody, I'm the namesake of Roger. When we were little, I was referred to as Little Roger.
Yes, yes,
So,
sir.
so when the phone rang, they said, is Roger there? And they would say Little Roger or Big Roger. So, because of that, I went by our family name, which I was always called, which was Roger. So I went by Roger. And so one of the reasons is because the biggest insult my brother could say to one another was, most of the fights were started is, you look more like Dad. No, you look like more like Dad. Like, fuck you, you look more like Dad. Then the fights ensued. So another reason why my name changed to Roger as well. But our relationship with our dad was always a challenged one, but you know, we still loved him nonetheless. You know, he's your dad. He brought us here. He brought us into this world, and Dad did the best he could, and he loved his grandchildren. So if nothing else, you know, we loved him for that, and the people around him he touched. And that was, as my brother would say, he was a great elevator ride. So my dad was the person, as we all know, we've had those relationships with people where living with them and being around them for short periods of time are two different things. But my dad was wonderful to everybody. He had a lot of great stories, and everybody loved him because of his big heart that he seemed to share with everybody. And probably my fondest memory of my dad is when we were little, we used to go out with my cousins and we used to go hunting and fishing. So the one thing that I think my dad taught my brother and I is how to have fun, how to be with family, and how to shoot a gun, and how to fish, and how to fish illegally, and how to shoot shit illegally. So, that's always positive. And when I asked my dad if he would teach me how to use a gun, he said, "God damn it, baby, don't be so goddamn stupid. You don't need any goddamn practice shoot a gun. You just point it, you shoot shit." So that was a lesson for shooting, and fishing was pretty much the same thing. Put a goddamn worm on it, baby, and throw it in the goddamn water. So, as you know, my dad, when my brother and I grew up, we thought everything, our first English lesson, we thought everything began with goddamn this and goddamn that. So, to this day, everybody knows him as that. So I encourage everybody right now, hoist a glass to goddamn Roger. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Drink up.
I had to get extra insurance at work.
Yeah, don't demonize him.
No, I'm not. I mean, he's just the kind of guy he was. He was very affectionate. Super French. Yes, you. We have some French people here that can attest to that.
Oh.
You touch many people too, I'm sure. You are trying.
I'm trying.
Anybody needs to be touched, smash the guy. All right. Thank you, guys. And again, the microphone's here. If something grabs you and you want to talk, it's sitting right here. Get up and be brave. All right. Thank you all. Listen.
Des yeux qui font baisser les miens, un rire qui se perd sur sa bouche, voilà le portrait sans retouche de l'homme auquel j'appartiens. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, qu'il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause.